So today, for Bella Be Good, what we're doing is we're not going to do a formal session like we've been doing for months now, and instead it's more like what we did in the very beginning. But I want to show, I told Ben, I said, let's just show it right from the very beginning, because we're actually going out to do some food plotting, and I'm going to bring Bella with, like I normally would if I work on projects, and I bring her with me a lot of times, and that is equal importance when it comes to training. I don't think it always has to be a 15, 30, 45 minutes, hour session focused on certain stuff. We need that to develop skill sets, but I do think that the rest of the time is an equally important training time. So today's Bella Be Good is going to show that instead of us working on something formal. Now, will I work on something formal with her? I might. I don't know if Ben will be here for it or not, but I like keeping this consistency with the back casting. We had some really nice sessions here recently. Last few days she did really well. I might do it just a little looser, a little less formal. I've been doing that where the last couple days as I walk down to the shop, I put her on heel off lead, I let her out, and then I just recall her back into heel position. I let her out, she kind of quarters and casts, I recall her back because she's having a hard time at times recalling with distractions. So that's the skill we work on. Sit to the whistle, a little bit of distraction, and I'll blow a whistle and have her sit to the whistle. So what I'm gonna do is she's gonna come out of the kennel just like I normally would. Now if you look, we showed this when she was a little puppy. This is the result of that. It's a habit that formed with her. We do it just about every time. Bella here, Bella, sit. And I like to get her out, and I don't like to let her just run around, sit. I don't like to let her just take a hot lap. I want her to come in, I want her to sit down, sit down, sit down, sit. And I'd like her to be under control. And I'm gonna put the lead on her right away, and we're gonna go outside, and she's not just gonna be able to free run. She's gonna go under control with us outside. We're gonna put her boots on, we're gonna work down, and then we're gonna do some actual food plotting. And I'm gonna show you what I would do with her. That's gonna be our session for Bella today. And it's just a very practical, real world, candid thing of what we would do with her that is training. It's just not a formal skill development in a separate session. But I think there's value in showing that as well. Sit. Okay, so one of the things that we did, so we're just hooking up this planter. And so I brought Bella over, rode over with the four-wheeler. Now she's on lead right now. I don't always do it on lead. Sometimes we're on, sometimes we're off, and I'm starting out on lead. But I'm maintaining this control with her, and then I'll get back up on the wheeler. And so we've worked on this before. We worked on going back and forth to our shop in heel position. And so it's not new to her. And I wouldn't want to start out doing it new while I'm trying to do all this. But now this is the first time we've ever pulled anything. So she's got this added layer of distraction. And so now she just works out with me. Heel. And this heel, this is the value of heel position. So she understands, and I can take the lead back. I can take the lead on and off. No different than we would if we were on the ground. But these are where we transition this into like real life value. Heel. Heel, and you can see the lead comes off. Look at the excitement level with her. So I'll just start out real, heel, come on, come here. Bella, heel, heel, come here. Bella, come here. So you can see, boy, she really wants to ramp up and get going. So we're not gonna lose our cool over it, but we're not gonna allow her to do it either. Come here, heel. So I move 2 feet and stop. Good, heel, heel. Move 2 feet. As soon as she gets going, heel. Good. Heel. Wants to be a step ahead. Good. So now you get into this little bit of a rhythm with her. She gets a little bit ahead, you stop and check. We just work our way. And so she's gonna get in this, it's eventually gonna turn into normal. This is the first time we've ever done it, pulling the pillar behind it. We've done it on the four-wheeler before, or pulling a planter. Good. So we just work our way, and if she gets to the point where she gets out too far, and I can't get her comfortably on off lead, just slip the lead on. And look how much better she gets with that. So let's work our way down. We came down with Bella, we got in, we had to grab some seed. This is exactly how I would handle my everyday. A lot of people ask us, what do you do every day when you're not training? Well, we're always training, I always tell them. So this is something that's not dog related. We're gonna plant soybeans today for food plots, but I bring her in and she's got her adjustable leader on, so I have that, you saw the change in her behavior when I put that collar and lead back on. But what I would do is come down here. We went in, I told her to sit, I put her on a remote sit, went into the shop, grabbed the seed, came back out, brought her back out here with us. So now I'm gonna put some seed into this planter. She's just gonna watch, and I'm not allowing her to free run around. And we're getting the value of her remote sit. So let's see if I can wrestle these in and not spill them. So as I struggle to lift 120 pounds of beans in, I'm not worrying about her running off. I'm not worrying about her getting into stuff. I am thankful for her help in picking my pocket knife up. Sit down. But I've got this level of trust with her built up, and a level of understanding and belief in her control. So we do that, we put the bag back, we go grab another bag, we throw the bag on the back, and off we go, and we'll have her with us. And so she's able to get in on a lot of stuff. She's able to do just about everything we do because her behavior is good enough that it doesn't make it a pain. It's no extra work, or very little extra work for me to take her with to do a lot of this stuff. So take the other bag, because I will need more seed. I get it loaded. Here come the girls. The girls are coming down. So again, this is going to be just this will be a real good real life experience. So she's just going to sit, and here comes the other dogs. And she just waits it out. And I don't let her free run, I don't let her break, I don't let her take off. And off we go. So I'll show you, we're gonna bring her with. I'm gonna show you all the stuff we would do with her as we get on with our regular afternoon here. Like I said, we're gonna do some planting today. I picked up Lillian on the way back. She wanted to come out here with us. So we healed, Bella came back on lead with us, came into this food plot. What we're gonna do is I'll probably make a couple passes with her on heel. We're just gonna plant part of this. This is another thing that we're doing for our Hodag licking stick page, but we're expanding this food plot. Only part of it is what we're gonna plant today. So what we'll do with her is have her sit on remote. Now it is pretty hot out, so what I'll do is I'll put her in the shade and put her on remote sit. She'll get some practice that way. I'll also I'll let her heel with us. But she's not just gonna free run. And the nice part is most of our spots have ponds. We've got a pond right here. So if she gets too hot, we can put her in the water, cool her off, let her have a drink. But she's going to sit, she's gonna remain kind of under control as we do all this. So to start out with, I'll probably bring her with me actually and have her heel with, and we're gonna put the tricky part about this food plot is it's pretty little, so it won't take us long to plant it. I'll probably bring her with us and then we'll put her on sit for a little bit, but you'll see. But again, this is just, I want you to see that the question, what do you do with the dogs all day long when you're not training them? This is what we do, we train them. But I'm getting other stuff done at the same time. So we'll do that. Heel. Okay, so now we just put that little plot in. We're not going super fast, but you can see Bella kind of hugged tight with us. So I'm gonna bring her down, give her a chance to get a drink, and then we're gonna go off to the next plot. The next plot I'll probably just let her sit at and kind of sit on a remote sit while we plant it. It's a good chance for her to cool down a little bit. Good girl. Not gonna let her go nuts. If she starts to ramp up and boil over, then I'll just put her on a lead. Bring the control back. Good. She's kind of interested in that water spider. I'm not real big on it myself. Put the lead back on. And off we go. So we're getting a bunch of stuff done, and at the same time we're getting a lot of practice and opportunity to kind of exercise some of the stuff that we work on so hard in those drills. But this I really think is the key to it sticking. It's when you have a lot of opportunities and repetition to do this consistently, that's where the habits form. Okay, so this is a plot that we've got. It's a little bit bigger. It's going to take us a little bit longer to plant. So what we're gonna do with Bella is let her cool off. We just gave her a little drink. So now I'm gonna bring her over here. Now here's where the question is gonna be, how tempted is she to chew? And she probably will some to begin with anyway, regardless of what I do, but sit. Giving her a spot, I'm gonna leave the lead on. And I'm just gonna tell her to sit. And I'm gonna be able to pass her up here periodically as I'm planting and see her. She's gonna sit and watch. She knows she did wrong. So we're gonna go pick her up and put her right back in that spot. So it's a good, and so she doesn't think or realize, boy, he's asking me to sit here, sit. He's gonna ask me to sit here and he's gonna go around and do other stuff and have me sit the whole time. So we're gonna see, she's gonna get it eventually. And she'll probably settle in when she does. And eventually lay down, and knowing her, she'll chew on some stuff. She likes to carry stuff in her mouth all the time. Sit. So look at her ears right now. As soon as I get going with the four-wheeler, she wants to come. Sit. So I'm gonna make a point of coming right around the corner and being right here on top of her in a second. We're gonna barely get out of sight of her here. Sit. Good. Sit. She might get a little uneasy with me riding at her. I don't blame her. Sit. Good. Just sit. Good. Sit. Good. Sit down. Sit. So it's the exact same spot that she did it twice in a row. As soon as I get over here, I'm facing away from her. Ben angled towards me. So I'm going away. I start to get a little bit of distance. She gets a little excited because Ben's moving away from her, and she goes, I'll come with him, thinking it's okay. So I'm pretty firm with my sit on that one. Good. down. So as soon as it's at that point that she decides she's gonna break. She knows I caught her. What are you doing? Heel. Sit. So when you look at it from her perspective, look at what she sees. All of a sudden I'm gone. She gets away with that break. I saw her kind of break on that one, so the timing was pretty good, but I just couldn't reinforce it. So we put her back. Sit down. So we tired one out here, and that one finally settles in. So I thought she did a pretty nice job. It looks like she scooted a little, huh? When you move, probably. Yeah, so, huh? Yeah, so she wants to scoot over our bend. All in all, it's a really good chance for her to just settle in. Good. Bella, here. Good girl. Come here. Good dog. Good dog. Good. Here, good girl, right here, come on. Come here, good girl, right here. Heel, Bella, come on. Bella, here, right here, good. Come on, hold, right here. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, good. She's a little intimidated when the machine is running. I think she thinks it's growling at her a little. Here, Come here. Bella? Here, here, right here, sit down, come here, oh. Come here, sit down, thank you, sit. So she gets a little rambunctious, she gets a little excited, settle her back down. Heel. Okay, so you can see, I mean, this is gonna take me a total, to plant everything, it's gonna take a couple hours. And so we're gonna break it up with her sitting there or in other spots. She'll get a little bit of a break. I'll mix it up once in a while for her, but this is what I do when I'm not quote unquote training. We're training. And so it's just in a different way. You know, I come over and I'm trying to bury all these seeds that we didn't put the tiller down for or the planter down for. And so I'm making a commotion and kicking dirt and all that stuff, and she sits still. And you know, you can pick rocks, and one of the worst parts about you pick rocks and you throw the rocks into the tree line. And the dog sits and watches and isn't allowed to just go chase around, break on them. And it's stuff that we can practically use, stuff that we're doing in our regular everyday lives to kind of transfer some of those behaviors that we've worked on, some of those skills that we've developed that ultimately are going to end up being real valuable for us, whether we're hunting or farming or going to kids' soccer games or whatever. You know, there's nothing worse than you can't take a dog to a kid's soccer game and as the kids go by, the dog wants to go get the ball. So what do we do in the front yard when Sierra's playing soccer? Tell the dog to sit and watch. The dog watches. So it's just a real easy way to build in the training into our regular everyday lives. And for Bella, that's something that we've been doing and continue to do. So it's not like this is just the only day I do this. I wanted to do this Bella Be Goods episode to give you an idea of this happens almost every day in some way or fashion. And it's never identical because my days aren't identical. So we mix it up. There's a lot of things that are repetitious and consistent, and that she gets real good at that very quickly. But then when you start developing the skills and you start implementing them into different scenarios, it really gives you a test or a gauge of where that skill is. And if it's not good, if she couldn't do this, then I'd say go work on remote sit in the yard under control and turn that Bella Be Good session that we normally do a specific skill on, turn that session into focusing on remote sit. If you can't heel them up and down the driveway, you'll never heel them on the four-wheeler. So it's all these things that are started out very simply in a real simplistic way, and then I always talk about adding layers, adding layers, adding layers, adding links to the chain. So that's all we're doing. But I think it's important to show that. Good.
Drive home, and I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if you don't.